Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Frankthaman, barber and cosmetologist, back at it again with another tutorial. And I'm right here with my man Elvin, and we're gonna be doing a Fluffy Edgar crop top, French crop, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna be doing one today. I know the other one was very successful. A lot of people had a lot of questions. Just to answer them right now, the way you get this haircut is you just ask them for a French crop or an Edgar. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. Trust me. Like, you pulled up to me and that's exactly what you said, right? Yeah. And I knew exactly what to do, and then now we're here doing it for y'all. So stick around, enjoy the video, and of course, you guys, before we get started, this video is brought to you by Filoso Barber Brand. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, you guys, first things first is to go ahead and start combing out your client. Right, before you even pick up your trimmer, you want to go ahead and make sure that your client's hair is at its full natural state. I am now grabbing my one guard and putting it on there to do the second step, which is to clear your canvas / bulk. I always like to clear my canvas before I even start going ahead and putting in a guideline in there. The reason why is because there's so much bulk, so you want to remove that before you actually put a guideline in there. And that's what I'm doing with this 1.5 guard on there. And the clipper over comb, of course, that you guys seen there. All right, what I do, you guys, this is a nice trick for you. Whenever you're clipper over combing, make sure that you grab the comb and you're holding it at a 45-degree angle. For this type of Edgar cut, what I like to do is I like to bring that bulk, that weight line above the ear. And this is what I mean by that, you guys. I grab the comb and I hold it at a 45-degree angle. You don't want to hold it straight, right? You want to hold it at a 45 to prevent you from going more in, because the shape of this Edgar is fluffy, it's round. You don't want it to be square. You want it to be nice and round. Yeah, I see a little bit of hair, so I'm just going to knock it in real fast. All right, you guys, so let's get started with the guidelines. I always like to touch that up real fast, but here we go. Here is the first guideline with the handy dandy trimmer. Next is the second guideline. I grab the clipper and I drop the lever all the way down to create a 0.5 guideline. I now put my one guard on. I drop the lever all the way down, and I kind of went ahead and just softened it up a little bit more. I brought it up to the ear, realized it's a little low. Let's just keep clipper over combing. And my first go around, you guys, I always go ahead and just kind of just give it a quick little cut. I don't really try to do too much, because when you get stuck on one spot, you get stuck there, so I like to just create this thing called flow, real fast. I grab my shaver there, balding them out, and now moving to the other side. We're gonna do the touch-ups later. Right now, we're just gonna do our first initial little woo-wah, right? And here comes the second woo-wah on the other side, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. Clear our canvas first with a one guard, with the lever all the way down, which is a 1.5. Bring it all the way up to the ear, clipper over comb, right above the ear. And notice, I'm also clipper over combing and connecting it to his bangs. Like that weight line is going to his bangs. That's actually how you get that Fluffy Edgar in the front type of look. Some more clipper over comb. Sometimes you got to pick up the trimmer, and that was the second woo-wah, right? I like to just do a little, again, just a simple woo-wah, nice little cut before I go ahead and get stuck into one spot. Again, now these haircuts are important. You have to shape them in the right way. How do you shape them? Well, you grab yourself a comb and you make sure that you're cutting in the shape that you want, which is a 45-degree angle. I have to grab my trimmer and line them up on the sides, just so a soft little touch up. The reason why is because it helps when you're fading. It makes you realize like, hey, I'm almost done. So here it goes, you guys. I'm creating my first guideline on the back here, which is a 0 guideline. I grab my one guard, slapped it on there, and I opened the lever all the way down to create a 1.5 guideline. I then took off my guard and I'm creating my second guideline. First one is 0, second one is a 0.5, and the third one on top there is a 1.5. All you gotta do to fade that bad boy out is drop the lever. The higher you go up in a fade, the lower the lever is gonna drop. So the higher you go, the more the lever drops. And for my particular client here, if you guys are noticing, his hair gets really dark in the middle of his neck right there, and also the sides of his neck, right? He almost has it almost looks like an M. So how do we fade that out? We just use our corners, as you notice on the right there. When you guys are getting a haircut, you get really hairy, so make sure you're making your client feel 100%, clean. He's feeling good about himself. He's getting fresh, So make sure you guys, you're being mindful of that. Don't let the hair fall on his face and none of that. Again, I am using my corners for this. I'm using my corners to really fade out those dark spots. If there is darkness and light, it needs to go. Again, a metaphor for life. But if there's darkness and light, in this case, on this taper, then it needs to go. All right, what I'm doing here, you guys, is I'm making sure that the shape is going all the way through, you know, from the beginning of the taper to the back of the taper to the side of the tapers. Still feel like there's some darkness, so notice I'm going back in, I'm playing with the lever, doing that trigger play. And here come the touch-ups, you guys. This is where I'm doing the final woo-wah. You know, I'm making sure that he's clean now. And notice, look back here on his occipital bone, which is that bump that everyone has back there. I'm fading directly 45 degrees to make it look round, to make it look fluffy. If you guys go in on that, you're ruining the whole thing, because now instead of it being round, he's gonna look like he has a flat head. All right, guys, we are now moving to my favorite part, which is the shear work, the scissor work. Before we begin, make sure that your client's hair is fully saturated with water. The reason why is because the more wet it is, the more saturated it is, the more control you have over it. He wanted ½ an inch off the top, so I'm doing ½ an inch off the top. How did I do it? I created a little guideline, chopped off ½ an inch, and I realized that it's still too I wouldn't say crunchy, but you know, he had product in it, so it was hard to control it. So now it's fully wet now, as you can see. So I'm creating a mohawk guideline, and I'm picking up that ½ inch that I cut from the back and following it all the way towards the front. Now all you got to do is match it. That first initial guideline goes directly towards the middle of his nose. You cut off ½ an inch, ¼ inch, or 1 inch, whatever your client wants you to do. Then you do what I'm doing here. Just pick it up from the sides. Get behind your client. And then now all you have to do is match it. And your guideline is in the middle. And I'm going to show you better here. It also doesn't help that I have this baby water bottle. Right? It does not help at all. So here's what I mean by that, you guys. Our guideline is down the middle, right? We're gonna pick it up, look, it's right there. The right side is good, but now it's the left side we're working on. Boom, you see that? Boom, boom. And if you're wondering how much I pick up, I only pick up ½ an inch of hair. I part it, right? I'm lying, actually 1 inch of hair. I part it, and then I pick it up with my comb and my fingers, and then I cut, bam, 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 and I match it to the middle. You could never get lost like this because the guideline is down the middle towards, running towards his nose. The middle of his head, you know. And as you can see, you know, went ahead and touched up his little taper, made sure he was clean. All right, you guys, boom. What I like to also do now is I part that hair. And now what I'm doing, you guys, is called blocking. I'm squaring off the side of his head and I'm blocking the hair, but still cutting it and holding it at a 45-degree angle. I was scared to cut his bangs, so I went ahead and just parted it. Point cutting it, you know, because we want to fade it into the taper that we just did. Part his hair. And that block graduation here. We're grabbing that hair, and this is how you connect this hair to the taper. Just a, you know, a ¼ inch, nothing crazy. You're picking it up, and your guideline is the taper that you did. Is it really short? Yeah, it's really short. But that's how you actually fade that long hair into the bottom of the taper. Look at that. Butter. Now, you know, we got to just pick up our handy dandy texturizing shears and just kind of soften it up a little bit. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. Boom. Doing his lineup. So yeah, you guys, you know, make sure you're following the hairline in its most natural capacity. If you notice, he has a small forehead, which is fine. I'm trying to create him for it, but he's also at the same time telling me, hey, I don't want you to bring it up so high. So out of respect for him, I have to respect his choice. You know, if it was up to me, I'd bring this bad boy up another ½ inch and give him a nice solid forehead, you know. But, you know, a lot of clients and a lot of quote unquote Edgars love this. They love to have a, you know, a nice full bang. So I mean, I can't knock their, you know, their hustle. That's how they get down. So that's how we gotta treat it as such. You know what I'm saying? And look at how that long hair blends to the side of the taper, bro. And here are those texturizing shears I mentioned earlier. But yeah, you guys, we are picking up our texturizing shears, you guys, and softening it up. Now we're gonna be super blended. And this is why I said, you know, the first woo-wah is cool. Just run it real fast, you know. At the end, you do all the touch-ups. You'll get lost in that. And again, look, with the top, y'all thought I was done. Nah, I'm picking it up and making sure that it's all even, you know, adding texture. Because this is a fluffy Edgar. How do you create fluff and movement in the hair? Is by adding texture, which is by point cutting here. Grabbing little 1-inch partings and adding that texture. Bam, 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 bam. And you know what I'm thinking, you guys, just for you guys, is just creating a nice little shear cutting video. You know, maybe like 5 minutes explaining different ways to hold your shears, things of that nature. You know, that way you guys understand a whole lot better. Now I'm grabbing my trimmer and I am lining him up. All right, you guys, and we are almost concluding this video. I like to apply some shave gel before I actually pick up my razor holder and line them up. And the reason why is because you never want to dry shave. It hurts, you know. I am, of course, using the Filoso razor holder, premium high quality razor holder. You guys got to check it out for yourself, man. The link is in the bio. I'm also using the texture powder that we are working on right now to create that fluffy, puffy, max volumized type of look, you know. And of course, add some texture powder on the sides of your hand and fluff up the side of your client's head, you know, to give them that real fluffy Edgar look. All right, you guys, so this concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to everyone involved, Elvin, Caesar, my editor, and all the people who support Filoso Barber brand. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Take care. Peace.